Many will be waiting to see what orders will be given by Justice Luka Kimaro. Thank you, Rita, for that. Now, tomorrow will be the deadline for Kenyans to submit any memorandum opposing the nomination of any of the 9 cabinet secretaries, 7 PSs, and 7 ambassadors set to be vetted by Parliament. The Appointments Committee, which is chaired by the Speaker, is set to start their vetting on Thursday. The 12 retained cabinet secretaries will not be vetted, as well as the chief administrative secretaries. Our senior political reporter, Thairu, is following up on this story for us. He now joins us live from Parliament. Chris, a lot of noise and concerns have been voiced by Kenyans, but today being the deadline, how many memorandums have been filed so far?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Akisa. From this point, I can't verify the number of, the total number of submissions or memorandums that have been produced or presented before the clerk of the National Assembly pertaining the nominees to the cabinet. And what we know is that at least I have information that the former presidential candidate, Ekuru Aukot, is among the petitioners who are against the composition of the nominations or the composition of the formation of the cabinet. And according to Ekuru Aukot, is that the nominees really does not meet the 2/3 gender parity, and that more women were supposed to be included in that list. Also, he goes ahead and states that it does not meet the youth, which forms part of the 60% of the Kenyans population, and that according to him is that at least the president could have included more youths to that list of the nominees to the cabinet. And also, according to him, is the regional balance. These are just some of the issues or the complaints that Ekuru Aukot and other Kenyans are raising. Remember that the 7-day grace period that is given by the Constitution elapsed tomorrow. That is on Wednesday, before the Appointments Committee sits down and starts the vetting of the 9 nominees. That is on Thursday. And remember that not all the cabinet secretaries will be vetted. It's only the 9 who are now freshly joining the cabinet, and the rest who are 12 and who are retained by the president will not be vetted. And we've already seen Kiunjuri already taking over the devolution docket and handing over the devolution docket to his colleague Eugene Wamalwa. That happened yesterday. But just to inform you, Akisa, is that the opposition has stood his ground that they are not ready to participate in that vetting of Thursday. And now this leaves only the Jubilee team to handle that process. And many have been questioning then what will be the integrity and what that then amounts to rubber stamping by this committee, because if at all it's only constituted of Jubilee members and the list came from the president, then these will be just a rubber stamping of the names, and it will be, there's a high likelihood that all the names of the 9 nominees will sail through without any hitches. And last week we talked to the leader of majority in the National Assembly, Aden Duale, and he was categorical that the chief administrative secretaries will not be vetted, and since they are not even recognized in the Constitution, for them they will not be vetted. The people who will be vetted and the names were already presented to the clerk of the National Assembly, only the 9 nominees to the cabinet secretary, the 7 nominees to permanent as permanent secretaries, and the 7 nominees as ambassadors. And so I'll try to pop in the office of the clerk of the National Assembly just to get the number of those who have already petitioned, noting that that deadline is tomorrow. Akisa.
Quickly, Chris, for the sake of our viewers and Kenyans who've petitioned the clerk of the National Assembly over this nomination, with the vetting expected to begin on Thursday, what's the fate of these memos that have been submitted so far? Just take us through the procedure.
Well, Akisa, the procedure is this. After the memorandum is presented to the clerk of the National Assembly, the clerk is supposed to call for a meeting of the appointments committee. The committee is supposed to sit before they hold the vetting. And going by the information that we have from Parliament is that that committee is set to meet either this evening or tomorrow morning before they hold their vetting session, or before the sessions begin on Thursday. They're yet also to decide on whether they will call personally the people who have already presented their memorandums. These will depend on how the appointments committee will decide. They might decide to call those who have presented, the Kenyans who have presented their memorandums personally, so that they come to Parliament and issue or give out the memorandum that they have, or they might decide just to get the memorandums that they have and check through the memorandums and the issues that are being raised, then use them to vet the cabinet secretaries. After the vetting, which is supposed to take place on Thursday and Friday, the committee is supposed to come up with the report, and this report will either be approving all the names of the cabinet secretaries, or maybe having reservations on either one or two or three of the nominee of the cabinet secretary. And then from there, this report will be subjected to debate in the plenary. Remember that Parliament resumes their sittings on Tuesday next week, and by then they should be ready. The committee should be ready to present this report before the plenary, so that they can be discussed. And if the plenary majority approves that report, then the president will go ahead, and the cabinet secretaries will be sworn in, and they will take over office. But as I told you, Akisa, there's a high likelihood that all the 9 nominees will be approved, since the opposition has already indicated that they are not interested in participating with the vetting process, since they don't recognize the composition of the government and the Jubilee regime by itself. And so that means, or that leaves only the Jubilee members of Parliament who are now going to participate in that process. And if your guess is good as mine, then these names will sail through. And most people have been stating that then these amounts to rubber stamping, and then leaving those Kenyans who had crucial memorandums in regards to individual cabinet secretaries in total question. Akisa.
Senior political reporter Chris Thairu joining us live from Parliament with that update. It is a developing story. We'll continue to give you more on that. Now, Wiper Party is meeting today for the first time.